today's video, I'm going to be reviewing this Brinno construction time-lapse camera. Brinno sent me this along with tools of the trade to do a review because I love doing time lapses. I'm going to show you the ins and outs of this things, what I like, what I don't like, what could be better. I'm going to compare it to the Gopro because that's what I've used in the past. Let you know how it compares. So when you get this construction kit, it comes with a couple different components. It comes with this waterproof housing, which is really nice. Open this up. The TLC200. This is the camera. It's just for time lapses. It also does regular pictures and stop motion, but most of you are probably just gonna use it for time lapsing. Really cool thing about this, comes with this battery pack. Fits 16 AA batteries. You can mount this thing for an entire project. With this, you can schedule when it comes on and when it turns off. So you can mount it in a tree, you can mount it to a tall ladder, and leave it set up for the entire project and just take it down when it's done. It also comes with this magic clamp, I think they call it, which is really cool. It's adjustable in like 5 different directions, so you can pretty much mount it to anything and then point it where you want to point it. The only thing I'm not crazy about with this, it takes kind of a while to take down. For most people, you're just going to be setting it up one time in a project and recording the whole thing, so it's not that big of a deal. It's really durable. This is a really tough exterior case, totally waterproof, which is really nice, obviously, because you're going to be leaving it outside. The thing I probably like the most is the battery pack. With a GoPro, you're going to have to change out the battery constantly or run a cord to it. The camera itself, it's really easy to use. It doesn't have a million features on it. It's pretty straightforward to get it up and running. For beginners that aren't super tech savvy, like most contractors, this is going to be a nice camera for you. Things I'm not super crazy about: number one, the video quality is a tiny bit grainy. I think it's mostly just a little bit darker than some other cameras out there, which can be adjusted in post-production, but I think the best thing about this camera is it's really easy for beginners to use, and most beginners aren't going to want to edit the brightness in post-production, so that was one drawback. One more drawback that I wasn't crazy about was once you hit record on the time lapse, after a few seconds, the screen goes black and you can't see what you're shooting. It's not a huge deal, but when it's in the housing, there's really not a great indication of whether it's recording or not. So that was probably the biggest drawback I found with this. Lastly, I'm going to compare it to the GoPro because this is what I'm most familiar with. It's probably a camera that everyone has heard about. This is kind of streamlined for making time lapses. So that's like the main feature with this, where this also has video recording capabilities, but with all the extra features, this can be a little bit more confusing. This is a lot more straightforward. Probably the biggest difference, especially if you're not used to doing time lapses and paying attention to a camera on site, is the battery pack with this. So you just set this up, it lasts a really long time. If you're using a GoPro, every couple hours you gotta check and change the battery. So that can be super annoying. Running a cord to it can also be really annoying. This is a lot easier to get started with if you're new to time lapses. So in conclusion, I think the Brinno camera is really nice. It's probably the best bet for beginners that aren't used to filming on site, but they want to get some sort of content. You can set it up, forget about it. At the end of the job, you have a full time-lapse video, which is really cool. I think there's room on a crew for both of these cameras. The Brinno is really nice. Set up, let it record all day so you capture the whole event. And then the GoPro is good for complementary footage, whether it's you're ripping down some deck boards or you are nailing in joists. You can get like small tidbits of content that you can add to that time lapse and make it more interesting. So I really liked it. It's about $600 for that full construction pack, but I think it's worth it. If you're not producing any content right now, you'll notice right away that clients love to see that content. Your existing clients love seeing the videos. They'll want to share them. It'll help attract future clients. If you're not doing time lapses, it's the easiest way to get into doing content, and I think you should get one.